This is the mortar for capping. It's quite a bit wetter. I've mixed 12 shovels of coarse sand with 3.5 shovels of cement and water to this consistency here. So that's pretty good for capping. So here's how to start capping. Wheelbarrow a little ahead, and so I've been working here anyway. So sorry. Move your wheelbarrow a little ahead, and you can zoom in on this, Andrea. First you wet down your cap. Now see the way the water goes very quickly, gets absorbed by the top of the wall. It's gone. Almost as soon as you put it there, it soaks straight in. So ideally the cap should remain, the top of the wall should remain wet for the mortar to bond with it, the capping mix to bond with it. So here's how I achieve that. I just run some mix across it, wet the sponge a little, and just rub it in like that.
Oh.
And this, see the way now it's not, if you add water to it now, it's not running away, it's not disappearing. You can have awful problems if you don't do it this way, because your cap, the top of your wall can dry out so quickly that the mix here doesn't get a chance to bond with it. And if it doesn't bond, I have seen walls where the guy didn't wet it down enough, or it was too smooth, or a combination of both, and the cap has come off in 8-foot sections.
Oh my god.
Which is
a basic disaster.
Basically not a good thing to happen. So rather than doing that, if you follow that little procedure, you shouldn't have any problem like that. And you don't have to use the mortar quite as wet as this when you do that this procedure I've done here. But if you use it wet like this, it gives you an opportunity to do a longer stretch of wall before you come back to finish it. And depending on the day, that might be to your advantage. So it's wet like that. And
you had mentioned the stone wall had been built a couple months earlier in the rainier season, but that it was a very good idea to leave the capping until
it's a nice
it was
idea.
drier, so that we didn't get rained. The cap did not get rained on.
I had
instantly.
a few opportunities to do the cap earlier on, but the weather was a little bit iffy. And if you can wait to do it for the appropriate nice dry day, then you'd be well advised to do that. So notice too that I'm not doing any shaping of it. If I do any work on this, it will drip right over the sides.
Oh, okay.
When it's this wet. So here we go again. We wet it down, the water soaks straight into it. Almost instantly the water's gone. And then we do this thing where we push along a towel full of mortar right to the end. Wet your sponge, and now you're getting some of the cement in that mortar into the wall. So now you've got a really good, you're going to get a really good bond. I guess I didn't. So we're off again. So it's a few minutes later now, the mud is that slight bit drier. And I can put it on more directly. So there's our mortar on first. There's no shaping or anything like that done. It has to dry a little, get a little bit harder. And then
How many minutes for it to get a little bit harder?
it really depends on the day, how long you leave it. It could be a couple of minutes, or it could be... So the next thing to do, it could be 20 minutes, it could be an hour, depending on the day, depending on how dry it is, how much moisture is in the air on that day, and so forth. Oh, there's a little bit there. So what I'm doing now is I'm just flattening on this piece that I did earlier. I'm just flattening it a bit, making it a little bit more level across. I got this little level on the trowel, so this just approximates flatness, because this mortar is still kind of plastic, so you push on it here, it moves a bit at the edges, and like you can push it to here and it would slowly sink over the side. So you just got to wait a little while for it to be better. And here it's at a better stage, still not perfect. So what we do is we just start from here and we just check with her level. Just put the level, like a level doesn't have to be on like this. It can be like this too. It's level in all its dimensions. Oh dear. So if it's like this, we can see how our trowel is, so we can, or our float is, so we can keep the float at the top of the wall is level like this, and it saves a lot of hassle later on. See here, it's gone to not level.
Okay, so what do you do about that then?
Well, we'll be able to see from how things are on the wall where we stand. So we're getting the wall quite a lot more level, and then we'd have to wait about 10 minutes maybe for the final stage of it. So we're going to wait about 10 minutes. Okay. So it's been about 5 minutes and the top of our cement is noticeably harder. So I'm just going to run the float over it one more time, just in case things have moved a bit. So I'm moving the float over it, checking that nasty little bubble to see if the nasty little bubble is staying fairly steady. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's for Andrea's mom. Ooh. But seriously, perfection is not possible in this job. There'll always be something that could have been done better, especially when I'm doing it. So see, there we go. We're getting it nice and flat all the way along. Still a little bit wet here, but that will be okay. Alrighty, so we've got a flat surface now to work with, and we might as well just add to the edge, straighten out the edge. Sorry, I'm just going to pull the wheelbarrow back. It's still got a little. A few little holes, so we just filled a few little holes. So no great effort or imagination to fill in the holes. Just drop in a little mortar and smooth a little. Excess mortar can just go into holes at the side, and we're off. as always it stands. Wow, look at all the mozzies.
Oh, the what?
All the mosquitoes. So we're just doing a quick flick through here so as not to get eaten alive. These are some of the unpredictable things in the masonry business. Mosquitoes.
Are there different size edges, therefore giving you a different size of edging, or no?
There are different sizes, but I haven't seen that they make that much difference. I got a different one in the... My mix is ever so slightly... Oh yeah, this one's quicker. This is one I picked up in the garage there.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, this one whizzes along. Wow. Thanks for reminding me about that, Andrea.
Welcome, darling.
I wasn't going to use it this time around. So yeah, that's
A little bit longer.
a little bit longer, a little bit deeper, but quite a bit quicker. So yeah, and then in a little while, there's an area here where it's obviously in. I'll just fill that out, and the rest of it's pretty good. I can just run over the middle now. Then we've got to abandon this due to the nasty mosquito population. So I just run over with this like so, and then I just fill in a few low spots. So there's a low spot there, and I've almost exactly the right amount of cement, which is really good. You got to watch out for mosquitoes now.
We're just getting eaten alive here.
So I'm just going to, we're going to send Andrea packing in a couple of minutes. What do you think, Andrea?
Lovely. Isn't that lovely? Here.
This was another jig. It was a jig too far in, so I've just added a little, and I'll just smooth it a little, and then I'll come back in a couple of minutes and do the final smoothing of that. So that's a little bit smoother. That's a little. See here, we can see there's a little in here.
Just wait, we have to get in position. Okay, yep.
So there's a hump here, and there's a little in here. So we'll see what we can do to fix that. I'm just grabbing some cement on the floor, and we'll see how we can improve it. So yeah,
This cannot be avoided, I assume.
Yeah, like it can be if you go really slow, you can avoid this, but it's just handier to fix it after the fact. So you can check. This is how you would fix it. You would drop a little in here and a little in here. So it doesn't take that much to fix it. And there's several ways. I could have even pushed this in like this. And anyway, we've got to. So we run it down like this. It's in here. So now it's pretty much to the right curve, and then we just go back over it with the edges. And we've got a much better curve on it now, I think. Have we? We might find, or we might consider that a little too far out here. So we'll try to get in keeping with the rest of the... Didn't really... How's that now? That's pretty good.
Lovely.
And then later on we'll just do a final run on this, smooth this out again. A little bit of grit takes longer to push down now at this stage. Okay, so final little ding dong, and there we go. Alrighty.
Great.
So the thing you've got to do after capping is, see this little edge here? You've got to get rid of it. It just looks nicer without it. So you do that with a slicker or a little trowel. And this, you should cut this back too. So you've got a nice edge to your jobby. So you just kill off this edge. And this, I'm cutting this back. See, it's dried enough now that it comes off the stone relatively nicely. If you do this earlier, it might leave streaks on the stone, but if you do it now, it's a good time.
How many hours is it after you've put
this might be just as soon as it starts to dry up a little. So it can be pretty soon. So you just cut it back like that. And this is actually useful because, well, apart from the visual aspect, it's useful because these will stick strongly to the stone, and it can be that as the stone contracts ever so slightly from day to day and expands with the heat, it will be doing it at a different rate than the rest of the mortar, and it can induce cracking in the cap. So it's pretty important to just do this. So it's only a gentle smoothing, and oh, look at that nice stone. It's got purple in it. Just gently getting rid of